When you think about human trafficking, you probably have a very specific image in mind. But the truth is, trafficking doesn't usually happen between strangers. Most of the time, trafficking happens between people who know each other. In a trafficking story, there are 4 main characters: the victim, the recruiter, the trafficker, and the consumer. The victim could be anyone, not just the stereotype portrayed in Hollywood. Traffickers prey on the most vulnerable of individuals. Victims can become trapped by just trying to find a way to survive. There are numerous risk factors that make a victim more vulnerable, but there's a simple rule of thumb. The more a trafficker or recruiter can offer, the more the victim is at risk. Roller Skate to Liberate will cover these risk factors in a separate learning mod. But how does the victim end up with the trafficker? They get recruited. This recruiter gains the trust of the victim and gets them to sign on. In instances of sex trafficking, this person could be a neighbor or someone close to you, maybe even a family member. They might be posing as a friend or boyfriend, coercing their victim with fraudulent I love yous and showering them with gifts. In labor trafficking situations, the recruiter might pose as a legitimate job recruiter, or could be a family member or significant other who promises exciting opportunities with desirable living conditions and pay. Sometimes the recruiter and the trafficker are the same person, and sometimes the recruiter could sell or introduce the victim to the trafficker. The trafficker is the one in charge. Once the trafficker gains power over the victim through force, fraud, or coercion, they control nearly every aspect of the victim's life. The trafficker, sometimes called a boss, boyfriend, even daddy or pimp, will likely make the victim fearful through their abuse, threats, and lies. They use the victim for their own personal gain while keeping control over the victim's finances, schedule, communication with friends or family, travel, wardrobe, and more. Why do the traffickers and recruiters exist in the first place? Because the human trafficking industry profits an estimated $150 billion a year. These funds come from the consumers. Let's address labor trafficking. Who are the consumers? Unfortunately, we all are. We control the demand for that $150 billion industry by purchasing items, goods, or services made by companies who engage in labor trafficking. Do you know who makes your favorite products? Who harvests the cotton for your clothes? Or where do the bits of technology that make up your smartphone come from? These are questions we should be asking our favorite brands and product manufacturers. Consider checking out resources like Fairtrade Certified and Slavery Footprint to learn how you can be a conscious consumer. Now let's address consumers involved in sex trafficking, or commonly referred to as sex buyers. Everyday people like you, me, your neighbor, your police officer, your pastor, your teacher, and more can be sex buyers. These buyers are people of all ages, socioeconomic statuses, occupations, and ethnic groups. While buyers are a diverse group, men have been known to purchase sex at significantly higher rates than women. Most of these consumers are married, educated, employed, but few have criminal backgrounds, even though purchasing sex is still illegal in the majority of the United States. A study done in 2013 showed that in 137 cases involving minors, the majority of these consumers were in positions of authority and/or working with kids. Men, women, and girls who are bought for sex are most commonly purchased by married, middle to upper class white males with professional occupations. You have the power to not purchase sex and to not add to the demand that sex trafficking is built upon. You made it. You now know all the basic elements of human trafficking. This is your first step to becoming part of the movement against human trafficking. Don't forget to check out the action plans so you can get started on making a difference in your communities. There's a lot more still to learn, so roll on to the next learning mod.